The woman had just been criticized by her boss in a meeting, when her younger brother suddenly barged in, bypassed her and kissed the boss several times, and kept calling him brother-in-law in a loud and confident voice. This completely shocked her older sister. The CEO was also stunned and asked who he was. The man immediately claimed he was his wife's younger brother, and also his most loyal and righteous brother-in-law. Everyone in the room turned to look at the woman. At that moment she wished she could find a hole to crawl into. The CEO quickly and awkwardly dismissed all the directors from the meeting, leaving only the trembling woman behind to question everything. The brother explained that he had traveled from the year 2031, and that in the future 5 years later his sister would be the CEO's greatest love in the world. The woman quickly told him to shut up, saying she had barely spoken to her boss more than a few sentences in 3 years at the company. To convince them, the brother immediately said the CEO's lower back had her name tattooed on it. The exposed CEO turned red with embarrassment, while the woman thought he was just blushing from anger. The brother tried to keep talking nonsense but was instantly knocked unconscious by his sister. The woman quickly explained that her brother had recently been in a car accident and damaged his brain. Then she fled the scene as fast as she could. In reality, everything the brother said was true. The CEO had fallen in love with the woman at first sight during college, but back then he was just a poor ordinary student, and could only watch her from a distance, until he accidentally heard her talking about her ideal type. She said she liked handsome and wealthy men, who would even be willing to tattoo her name on their lower back. After hearing that, the CEO immediately tattooed her name on his own back, and vowed to become her ideal man. But when he finally became the man she dreamed of, he discovered she already had a fiancé. On the other side, the brother who had just woken up found his sister, and told her that her fiancé was not only a bad man but also cheating with 2 women at once. He told her that if she did not believe him, she could check her fiancé's phone and search for a contact named Network Repair. That was actually the number of the fiancé's affair partner. The woman did not believe a single word, and immediately used a grappling move on her brother again. The unlucky brother was just finished being taught a lesson by his sister when he was suddenly grabbed by 2 bodyguards. It turned out the CEO had come to ask his brother-in-law for help, asking how in the future he would end up marrying his sister. After all, she already had a fiancé. The brother said her boyfriend was actually a gold digger, who successfully latched onto a rich woman and abandoned her sister. The CEO immediately asked when they broke up. The brother thought for a moment and said it was on their 1000-day anniversary. The CEO instantly realized that it was today, and immediately ordered his driver to go find the woman. On the other side, the woman was about to register her marriage with her boyfriend, but she suddenly remembered what her brother had said. When her fiancé was not around, she could not resist checking his phone, and sure enough, there was a contact named Network Repair, and the next second that contact sent flirtatious messages. When her boyfriend returned, she immediately exploded in anger, but the boyfriend still shamelessly tried to win her back, and even promised to delete the woman in front of her. The woman slapped him hard across the face, and the boyfriend immediately flew into a rage and tried to hit back. At the critical moment, the CEO appeared and stopped him. The boyfriend saw another man holding his girlfriend's hand and immediately tried to attack, but the CEO said nothing and directly ordered his bodyguards to drag him away. Afterwards, the brother learned that his sister had broken up, and comforted her, saying the CEO would marry her, but the sister said that after this experience she no longer believed in love. At that moment, the CEO walked out from behind her, and said if she did not believe in love, then she could marry him. It would also help him deal with his family's pressure to marry, and he would pay her $5 million every month. The woman thought that even if it was only for 1 month, $5 million was still worth it, and if she helped her boss with this favor, she would not be fired because of the previous incident, since they were already at the marriage office. She made up her mind and agreed. Just like that, the two of them casually went in and casually got married. Since it was a contract marriage, they agreed to keep it secret. The woman promised she would not tell any co-workers. After the sister left, the brother teased the CEO, saying he clearly loved her but still wanted a fake marriage. The CEO calmly said he already had the marriage certificate in hand, so he was not afraid of winning over her sister. But the brother said that in the future he would become a total wife follower, and would kneel on a keyboard just because of her gaze. The CEO refused to believe it, and confidently said he would never do anything so humiliating. But as soon as he got into the car, he told his assistant to replace all the keyboards at home, and make sure they were all comfortable to kneel on. Soon the woman moved into the CEO's home as requested, but as soon as she entered, she saw an elderly woman covered in luxury brands, and immediately assumed she was the CEO's mother, so she respectfully bowed and greeted her. The CEO awkwardly explained that she was not his mother but the housekeeper, which left the woman extremely embarrassed. She then looked around the enormous living room, big enough to ride a bicycle in, and a drink bottle worth a year's salary. She thought that although it was only a contract marriage, the feeling of being rich was really good. Soon the housekeeper took her to a room and said it was the CEO's master bedroom. The woman immediately said that would not work, and asked if there were many rooms in such a big house. The housekeeper said there was an office, a gym, and a sauna, but only one guest room. The woman said she would just stay in the guest room, but when she opened the door she froze completely. She did not expect her brother to already be living inside. She had not expected a fake marriage to come with extra baggage, and immediately tried to kick him out. Just then the CEO appeared behind her, and said since the brother-in-law liked it he could stay, and that the woman could just squeeze in with him. When she tried to refuse, the CEO quickly added that he would sleep on the sofa, so she reluctantly agreed. Afterwards, the CEO immediately transferred $20,000 to the brother, thanking him for helping his sister move into the master bedroom. The next day the two went to work together. Seeing so many co-workers in the elevator, the woman pretended it was a coincidence with the boss. The CEO thought she was deliberately distancing herself from him and became upset, while the woman was relieved that no one had noticed. Then the elevator doors opened restaurant and a wealthy young lady appeared. She immediately approached the CEO enthusiastically and insisted on having dinner and a date with him. The CEO coldly rejected her as always and said his wife required him to go home for dinner every day. The woman was instantly terrified and completely speechless. Fortunately, the rich lady did not believe it and thought it was just an excuse. She immediately asked who his wife was, and the CEO directly said the woman's name. This completely shocked the woman.